Hey friend, thank you for joining me today. Today we are doing a follow along back workout. We're going to be focusing on all the different muscles within our back. This is completely follow along, meaning I'm working out right alongside you. What you're going to need today, you're going to need a moderate to light set of dumbbells. Ideally both, so that you can pick, but whatever you got works just fine. You're going to need a resistance band. Please, I encourage you to have some shoes on, have a water bottle close by, get some good music so this is an enjoyable experience for you. Grab what you need. If you have everything though, let's get started. For our warm-up for today, we are going to do 5 different mobility exercises targeting our upper body to get it nice and ready to go. We're going to do each exercise one time through for 60 seconds each. We'll take about 10 seconds transition time in between each exercise, but we just have one round for that. So we're going to want to make sure that in that 60 seconds, we're really focusing on our form, really focusing on getting our upper body warmed up. I'm going to start our timer. We are going to begin with open to close with our arms. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart, toes forward, palms facing in, opening up through our chest. Arms come back, big squeeze through the back as we open up. Squeezing through the back, pulling those arms wide. Okay, trying to relax our shoulders so we're not hunched up in this position. Shoulders relaxed, pulling wide. Take it nice and slow. We're just getting started.
Halfway there.
Keep it up. Might be starting to feel a little bit of a burn. That's okay. Core nice and tight here. Not pressing the ribs up. Pulling through our arms, through our back. I'm feeling the burn. Got 3, 2, 1. Good. We are transitioning. Wow, my arms feel it there. We are transitioning now to a slow burpee. There is no jumping in this warm-up exercise. We're starting at the end of our mat, reaching up overhead, down, leg comes back, bringing it back up, and reaching overhead. Nice and slow here. Focusing on our mobility, strong back, strong legs. If you can reach your arms further than me, that's great. I have a low ceiling right where I'm standing up. Just do your best here. Make do with what you got. Core nice and tight, back nice and flat. Trying to get a full flat foot when we come up to that standing position. Good. Keep it up, core tight. Almost there.
10 seconds. Rest.
Good. Standing up, take a couple seconds. Core nice and tight. We are going to get into a plank position. This is going to be a plank to downward dog. So from the toes, from the palms, nice and strong. Hips come back. Keep it up. Bending through those arms, feeling a nice stretch across the back of the legs. Feel free to slow it down if you just want a little bit of a stretch as well.
Halfway there.
Should be feeling a little warmer now. Keep it up, almost there.
Seconds.
Trying to keep those legs as straight as possible, pushing through the hips and the back.
Rest.
Good. Drop to the knees. We're in a 4-point kneeling position. We are now going to alternate between cats and cows. Okay? Palms nice and flat on the ground. Pushing away the shoulders, tucking in the spine. This is our cat position. Lifting the head, drawing the spine the other way. Drooping that belly. This is our cow. Alternating for a full minute here. Keep it up.
Halfway there.
Focusing on these tiny movements, getting a strong range of motion or as best you can.
10 seconds.
We got one last one here.
Rest.
Good. Now I want to take what you did there. So taking the cat-cows, quite an exaggerated movement, and now we're going to make it quite a bit smaller. We are doing shoulder protractions and retractions. So in that 4-point kneeling position, we are just going to push the shoulder blades away, very small movement, and then sink them in. This movement should only be happening from the shoulders. So we're not dropping the ribs, the arms. It's a very small movement between the shoulder blades. So sinking through the shoulder blades, they come together at the back, pressing away. Head stays neutral. Core
Halfway
stays
there.
tight. Almost there.
10 seconds. Well done.
Good. All done there. Finished our warm-up. We're going to jump into our workout. Grab a quick drink if you need it. I'll meet you right back here. All right, so for today's workout, the concept is fairly simple. We're going to do 3 separate sets of circuits. Each circuit is going to have 3 exercises in it, and we're going to do each circuit for 3 rounds. There's a lot of 3s in there, but don't worry, I will guide you through this as we go. The first circuit, again, 3 exercises, 3 rounds. We're going to do 45 seconds of work for each exercise with 15 seconds rest. What's going to happen is we're going to try and get through those 3 rounds back to back to back. So there'll be minimal rest outside of those 15 seconds that we have as transition time. Once we are finished the 3 rounds, we will take a more significant rest before we move into the next 3 exercises. Now, one thing I will mention here, and you might want to just look around quick, we are going to need a slightly lighter set of dumbbells. Now, if you don't have that lighter set of dumbbells, please grab a can of soup, grab, a light book. It really doesn't matter here. We just want a little bit of weight. So I am actually going to grab, I have this little plate, and I'm going to grab this for that exercise. Okay, just make do, and if you don't even have the weight, that's also fine. You'll be fine just with body weight. The first exercise we are doing will be on the ground. We are going to need our moderate set of dumbbells in a high plank position. We're going to keep our weights in the center, high plank. We are going to side fly in that plank position, drop the arm, push up. Side fly, push up. Now, if you need to do this from the knees, drop the knees, by all means.
Halfway there.
Do so. You can even do the side fly from the knee. It's a little more awkward, but it's very doable. Wherever you're at, totally fine.
10 seconds.
We've got 10 seconds here.
Rest.
Good job. Take 15 seconds. You're going to need your resistance band now, as well as your weight. This is going to be a resistance band, single arm row.
Let's go.
Upright row. Pulling the arm up, elbow up, with both the band and the weight. If you just have the weight, that's totally fine. That resistance band is just going to add a little bit more tension. Now we are doing 3 rounds here. So one thing I want you to keep in mind is you're doing one side. That second round, you'll do the other side. The third round, we are just going to do both dumbbells without the resistance band, just so we can balance out our sides.
10 seconds.
10 seconds here, core nice and tight, elbows coming up. Really, the weight ends at the collarbone, but we are leading with the elbow. Good.
Rest.
Drop the weight. Keep in mind what side you did. You'll do the opposite side the next time. At 15 seconds, she goes by quick. We're going to grab one weight. In our 4-point kneeling position, we are doing a bird dog. So we are doing weighted with the arm. Leg comes out, opposite arm, opposite leg. Core tight, switching sides. Nice and long through that body. Arm nice and straight. Pushing out and open. Core nice and tight. Pause for a second.
Halfway there.
Keep it up.
Seconds.
Focus on your breath here. These are the 3 we have for our first set. Now you know what to expect.
Rest.
Good. Set it aside. You got 15 seconds here. Remember, it is a quick turnaround. We are going back to our side plank fly with our push-up. If you need to adjust from the knees, by all means, do so.
Let's go.
Weights are in front, so palms are nice and flat. Bringing up one weight to the side, back down. We can drop to the knees if need be. Push up. Or we can do it from the toes. Or we can alternate, which seems to be my approach for today.
Halfway there.
Keep it up, core nice and tight.
10 seconds.
Good.
Rest.
Drop to the side. Remember, quick turnaround. We are doing our resistance band to upright row. Opposite side this time. I did right last time. This time I'm doing left. Wrapping around the dumbbell. Get a good grip. Leading with the elbow. The beauty of the resistance band is it just creates a little bit more tension, and you can choose how much tension that is. The tighter the resistance band, the more you're going to feel it. Core nice and tight, pulling through the elbow.
Halfway there.
We're doing great.
10 seconds. Rest.
Good, set that one aside. Moving to our weighted bird dog. Remember, we are switching sides in our bird dog. So coming to that 4-point kneeling, opposite hand, opposite leg.
Let's go.
Opening up and wide, core nice and tight. We squeeze, bring it back, and switch. Drawing that leg as far as we can up. That weight adds a little bit of a challenge. Now, if you find you're really struggling to lift that arm, get rid of the weight.
Halfway there.
Core nice and tight. We're not letting our bellies sink.
10 seconds. Rest.
Good job. Take 15 seconds. We've got one last round of this. Then I'm giving you guys a nice long breather. So stick with me here. We've got one last round of our flies to our push-ups. Weights are in the center. Arms are wide. Opening up, core tight. We push up. Switching sides. If we need to drop to the knees, we do so. Core nice and tight. We're trying to stay level here. Keep going.
10 seconds.
I am right here with you.
Rest.
Good. Okay, for our upright row, we're not using the resistance band. We are using both weights. Just to balance ourselves out, palms are going to face us, leading with the elbows, coming up to
Let's
collar.
go.
Nice and controlled. It will feel different without the resistance band, but the same form applies. Keep it up.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
Good, relax, done with that. Moving on to our last exercise before we take our longer breather. We are doing weighted dead bugs, coming down to the ground. Let's finish strong, not dropping our stomach. Core stays nice and tight
Last round.
as we extend. Switching sides in between.
Halfway there.
Keep it up, core nice and tight, strong as we push open.
10 seconds.
Good job.
Well done.
Nicely done. Take a breather, grab a drink. I'm going to give you a full minute, then we're going to come back and do our second round. Alrighty, how are we feeling so far? You're still with me here. We're moving on to round 2 or circuit 2, 3 different exercises, 3 rounds. The same applies, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We're gonna go back to back through our 3 rounds. I'll give you another breather at the end before we wrap it up with our final 3. You're gonna need your dumbbells close by, as well as your resistance band. One exercise is totally body weight. But let's dig in. We'll do it together for the first round. Then by the second round, you can focus, think about your form. It'll be good. Okay, starting with our weight, feet are gonna be shoulder width apart, toes forward, soft bend in the knees. We are bending through the hips, so we are doing a stiff-legged deadlift. Head stays nice and neutral. Coming up about halfway, row. Coming up the full way. Core nice and tight, moving only through the hips. We are not rounding out the back. Come up a little bit, bent over row. Bringing it back up, squeezing through the glutes. Back stays nice and flat, head neutral, shoulders back. Get a nice stretch through our hamstrings, pull it up, row, stand up. I know there's a lot going on here, but just focus on one thing at a time, keeping those weights close to your legs. Back stays flat. And
Rest.
Stand up. Good. Moving into our next exercise, which is body weight. You can do this weighted, but because we're working postural muscles, it's actually an area that's usually quite weak for people to do it correctly. So we're just going to do it body weight to start, and you can make the call after. Feet shoulder width apart, soft bend in the knees, hips back. Palms are facing down, right by our ears, nice and straight to the best of our ability. Pulling down, squeezing through the elbows. Now this position, in that extended arm position, if you have some muscle imbalances, this might be incredibly hard. And even if you don't, it is challenging to maintain that perfectly straight position. So focus on your form here. Don't get lazy, pulling through the back, squeezing at the bottom. Keep it up.
Rest.
Good. Standing up, we're coming down to the ground. This is where we will need our resistance band. We are going to do pull aparts on the ground. Legs are going to be bent. I'm just going to move myself a little bit here.
Let's go.
Arms are going to be shoulder width apart, pulling apart, so not hitting the wall, pulling apart fairly fast, slow on the release. Pulling apart, slow and controlled on the release. Try not to let your chest
Halfway there.
pop up. Slow on the release.
10 seconds.
Keep it up. Slight bend in the elbows.
Rest.
Good. Take a few seconds. We are moving back to our stiff-legged deadlift with the bent over row. Moving into round 2. Okay, you're a little familiar now here. What can you work on? What can you tweak this round?
Let's go.
Feet shoulder width apart. Stiff-legged deadlift. Back stays nice and flat. Shoulders back. We come up a little bit. Bending through the back. Standing up. Squeezing through the glutes. We come up a little bit. Squeeze. Pull it back. Keep it up.
Halfway
Chin
there.
stays tucked. Back stays flat. Okay, this is the one time in exercises where sticking your chest out is actually not a
10
bad
seconds.
thing. We get a little bit of a flatter back there. Keep it up.
Rest.
Good. Moving on to our body weight bent over W exercise. So we are trying to achieve that W position at the bottom. Arms nice and straight at the top. Feet shoulder width apart.
Let's go.
Slight bend. So we're parallel to the ground. Arms are straight. Chin is tucked. Pulling down. Just take it slow. If this feels awkward or uncomfortable, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It might just mean you are moving the muscles correctly and that's challenging.
Halfway there.
Keep it up.
10 seconds.
Big squeeze. We're almost there. Good. Shake that out. Coming to the ground. I don't know about you, but my back's feeling pretty warm at this point. Coming to the ground, we're doing our pull aparts with a slow release. I want you to focus on your tempo here.
Let's go.
Palms are shoulder width apart. Pulling open. Slight bend through the elbows. Slow on the release. Keeping the chest down. I know I even need to focus on that a bit. You'll be able to feel
Halfway there.
if your chest is popping up on the ground. So really focus on pressing it down as you pull.
10 seconds.
Nicely done. Round 2 of 3. Moving on to round 3. We get a breather after this. Stick with me here. I know it's fast paced. That's just how we get it done. Stiff-legged deadlifts, bent over row. Feet have a slight, or knees have a slight bend in them. Bending through the hips. So we're pushing our hips towards the back wall. Coming up slightly. Row. Stand. Core nice and tight.
Halfway there.
Especially at this pocket. Good. Focusing on our breath.
Rest.
Good. Taking it to our body weight W's. Give yourself a few seconds. If you need a quick drink, go ahead and grab it. Exercise 2 of 3, and then we're on to our rest for today. Or until it'll be your last big chunk of rest. Because once we get to the last set of exercises, that's it. Big squeeze. Think about getting your elbows together, trying to make contact with them at your back. Of course, you can't do that, but that will really get that contraction going.
Halfway there.
And if you feel like your back is fatiguing and you're feeling that burn, you can always stand up, shake it out, keep going. Arms stay nice and straight.
10 seconds.
Good job. Coming down to the ground. Last time for these pull aparts. Then we'll grab a drink, take a breather. Nice and slow on the release. If you need to make it a little bit tighter with your resistance band, do so. Chest stays flat to the ground. Keep it up.
Halfway there.
Almost there.
10 seconds.
Big squeeze, nice and slow.
Well done.
Woo! Set that aside, grab a drink, take a breather. I'll see you in a minute and we'll finish up with round 3. Alrighty, last round, same applies. 3 exercises, 3 rounds of 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of transition time. Look, this is it. You just got to get through this. Then we're stretching out. We're finished the workout. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's bring our best effort here for that last little bit. I'm going to start the timer. You know the drill. We are starting with our dumbbells. Palms are going to be facing each other. Feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees. We are bringing our weights to a Y position. Slight bend in the elbow as we do this. Core nice and tight, controlled throughout the entire movement. If you are having to swing yourself up here, too heavy. Go a little lighter. We are working small muscles here, and we want good control. Keep it up.
10 seconds.
Good. Take a few seconds. Our next one is going to be a bent over row, which we've done a variation of today, but we are going to do slightly different, an alternating row. So feet shoulder width apart, back nice and flat, bending through the knees, but mostly the hips so that we can get bum nice and back, pulling the elbow in, bringing it down, pulling the elbow in. Because we are alternating, we can go a little bit quicker here. Squeezing through the back, maintaining our posture, not letting ourselves get rounded. Heads up, the next exercise will be down on the ground. So just keep that in mind. We don't have too much time in between.
10 seconds.
Core nice and tight, that protects your lower back. Good. 15 seconds, we are coming down to the ground. We are doing Supermans here. So palms are going to be, face is going to be down. Legs straight. We're gonna do arms behind our head today.
Let's go.
Chin tucked in, lifting and opening up through both the lower body as well as the elbows.
Halfway there.
Keep it up. Big squeeze.
Ten seconds. Rest.
Good, we got 15 seconds, then we are moving over to our Ys, our weighted Ys. Those are the three. You know exactly what you're doing now. We just gotta get through 2 more rounds and then we're stretching out.
Let's go.
Y position. Slight bend in the elbows, palms facing in, core nice and tight. Focusing on lifting through the arms, not squeezing, or not swinging, through the ribs.
Halfway there.
Keep it up.
Seconds.
Core nice and tight. You're doing great.
Rest.
Good. 15 seconds. Moving into our alternating bent over row. If you need to adjust your weights, do so. Feet are shoulder width apart, focusing on the bend through our hips with back staying flat. Back flat. Core tight. Whoops. One at a time. Big squeeze through the elbow, pulling that arm nice and high and back.
Halfway there. Ten seconds.
Almost there. If you need to adjust your back, just step out of it, get back right into it.
Rest.
Good. Done with that. Moving on to our Supermans, and then we only got one last round. Stick with me here.
Let's go.
Hands behind head, pulling up through both the heels and the elbows.
Halfway there.
Keep it up. Almost there.
10 seconds. Rest.
Good. 15 seconds. We're moving on to our last round. I don't know about you, but I'm all kinds of sweaty. Moving into our weighted Ys. I'm right here with you.
Let's go.
Nice and wide, core nice and tight, controlled on the way down.
Halfway there.
I want you to focus on what you're doing well right now. Encourage yourself. We are almost there.
Rest.
Good. Bent over row, alternating, feet shoulder width apart, back nice and flat. Core nice and tight as we do this. Last time we have to do it. Bending through the back legs, alternating sides. Keep it up, core tight.
Halfway there.
Big squeeze through the elbows.
Ten seconds.
Finishing up with our Supermans after this, and then we are stretching out.
Rest.
Good, Supermans. Last 45 seconds here. We're almost there.
Last round.
Here we go. Big squeeze.
Halfway there.
Keep it up, almost there.
Seconds. Well done.
Nicely done. Done the workout for today. Grab a quick drink and we'll come back here for a quick stretch. First one we are going to do is come down to the ground for a child's pose. Knees are going to be slightly wider so that we can lean back, toes are together, leaning back, palms come forward, reaching down. This should feel really nice on our back after we've worked it out. In your head right now, I want you to think about one thing that you were really happy with today. One exercise you enjoyed, one thing that you were proud for sticking it out. And then I want you to think of one thing, not with criticism or judgment, one thing that you want to be intentional about improving. Is that your mindset? Was that a specific exercise? Check in with yourself. We're going to come to a similar position for our next stretch. Knees are going to be together. You're going to put arms beside. This one you should feel in your lats, so down your side, under your armpit. Okay, you should be able to push that shoulder down into the ground and feel a nice stretch along that side. Good, let's switch sides. You might notice that one side feels tighter than the other. You can use your body to leverage that a bit. Good. We're going to come to a seated position now. Last two stretches here. First one being a shoulder stretch. Arm comes across. Relaxing that shoulder down, pulling across so we feel a nice stretch across our shoulder. Good. Switch sides. Good. We are going to put one arm beside for our last stretch. Reaching up, we are doing a side stretch, trying to keep our bum down so we get a nice stretch. Switching sides, reaching up. We can even open up a little bit, whatever feels right for you. Good. Bring it back. Roll out those shoulders. How are you feeling? Amazing job today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that workout as much as I did. I would love to know what you thought, what else you'd like to see. Please let me know, and I'll see you in the next workout.